Eleanor's January Blues. Something's different, Eleanor mused one morning. It's the new year, according to Driver, smiled Edith. Well, the old one was better, Eleanor grumbled. This new one is... Well, look! It's gray and cold and dull. Where'd all the snow go? Came and went with Christmas, I suppose. Well, I'd have liked to have gone with it. This dreary weather doesn't make me want to leave the shed. At least you can, Edith added, unlike our little friends. I wonder what they do all winter long. Plenty of time for a wash-down, although I suppose there's no one to do the scrubbing. Maybe they... Edith stopped short. Eleanor had slipped away while she was talking. Oh, I wish a good scrubbing would wipe away those bad manners, she sniffed. I might as well talk to myself. Passing the junction at Kirkmatchin filled Eleanor with a strange sensation. The crunch of snow underfoot was replaced by the ganger's tools striking the rails. In the absence of tinsel and baubles, the Christmas tree on the platform looked more like a grim omen than a sign of joy. Worst of all, the last thing she saw before speeding away was the unhappy face of one of their little friends in the shed window. Well, that's a nice present. Happy Christmas, mountain engines. We're locking you up till springtime, she mocked. She grumbled on up the line, with nothing bettering her mood. Even the grand fortress walls looked drab against the gray sky. I've had it, she flounced at the station. These are no conditions for an engine to work in. I'm going back to my shed. No, you're not, chuckled the driver. Work doesn't stop just because you're feeling glum. Glum? I'm not... Oh, how dare you suggest you're glum? Eleanor snapped with a pout. Such a shame, the second man mused, when the January blues comes around. I don't have that. What is that? It's a bit of a low after the Christmas high. A trip to the doldrums, some say. It hits us all in different ways. It hasn't hit me. But I think I know who it has, Eleanor gasped in realization. Well, whoever it's hit, the second man smirked, winking at the driver. You'd best try and cheer them up. That's exactly what I'll do, Eleanor grinned with determination. And so, when she passed Kirkmatchin, Eleanor tooted her horn with increasing jubilation. Thinking it was for them, the gangers waved and shouted. Still, all Eleanor could see in the shed window was a small, sullen face. Right, she thought. I'll just have to be louder. Is she trying to summon the circus? Ernest asked in bewilderment after a particularly loud blast. She certainly acts like a clown, sniffed Shane Dewey, with all her antics. Oh, come off it, Caldy replied. Eleanor's a good sort. Her jokes are harmless fun. I reckon she's trying to cheer us up, smiled Wilfred. But I'll bet she thinks she's failing with the looks you two give her. Remind me to tell manager not to give you the window seat next winter. Are you all right? Edith questioned when they next met. I thought you were raising an alarm. I'm fine, Eleanor replied bluntly. Ooh, Edith bubbled. Is it a new trick? Can I help? Oh, the last one was wonderful fun. No, Eleanor sulked. Is this to do with your January blues? Is it question Eleanor Day? Go back to your silly coaches and leave me be. As Eleanor stormed off, Edith smiled slyly. It is the January blues. Ho, 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 ho. Clever detective work, Edith. Well, thank you, Edith. Oh, I don't think I like this talking to myself business. Another run up and down the valley with even louder honks yielded the same results for Eleanor. Bother, she thought. I'll have to come up with something else. By the time she reached the junction to meet the main line train, no new ideas had come to her. "Is that all?" Henry asked, eyeing Eleanor's short train. "You've usually got loads of trucks for me." "Ah, well, must be the post-Christmas slump." As he moved off to add her trucks to his train, the light bulb in Eleanor's cab went off. "Yes, that's it!" she cried with glee. "A big, long train! That'll excite them, surely!" When she next returned to Peel Godred, she shunted as many trucks together as she could, more than she normally took in a trip. "Couple them all up, please," she told the shunter. "Have to bring the mainline engine something worthwhile, you know." Putting up no argument, the shunter fastened the couplings, and eager Eleanor was away. The gangers were working hard on the loop at Kirkmatchin, where a set of points stuck between lines had halted them. As they tinkered away, the lookout man spotted Eleanor in the distance. "At ease, boys," he called, walking up the tracks with his caution flags waving. Eleanor's mind was elsewhere. "This'll jazz them up good. Poor little engines don't even get to take proper goods trains. What a treat there!" "Stop! Stop!" Eleanor snapped back to the present. The lookout man was waving his flags frantically. The driver put on the brakes, but unaware of the extra load, there was no hope of stopping in time. The gangers dove to safety, and with a great commotion, Eleanor lurched over the broken points, bumped, and stopped. There came a gaggle of laughter from the shed. Shane Dooney and Ernest were in stitches. Eleanor just looked at her buffers as the men rushed to the scene. When Edith arrived with the breakdown cranes, she marveled at the train. "Good gracious! Are you giving all our trucks to the mainline engines as a late Christmas present? Or is the whole of Peel Godred moving house?" "I'd certainly like to know the reason," frowned Eleanor's driver, "seeing as I wasn't told of our extra load." "Were you trying to exorcise the January blues from your system?" Edith asked. "I don't have—" "Oh, all right," Eleanor sighed, defeated. "I do. I thought cheering up our little friends would make me feel better. But I just feel worse." "A nice gesture," Edith smiled. "But I think it's time my little friend was cheered up. Shall we go back to the shed for a chat?" "All right," Eleanor smiled weakly. "Good. I'm eager to talk to someone who isn't me." A few days later, Eleanor was back to work. She still felt a little down, but that was about to change. The lookout man halted her at Kirkmatchin as the men finished inspecting the points. "You're decidedly quieter today," came a chuckling voice. A familiar engine sat outside the mountain railway shed. "Caldy!" she beamed. "What are you doing out here?" "I'm taking the maintenance crew to inspect our line. It's nice to get some fresh air. Where have you been? I missed your hooting these last few days." "You did?" "Certainly. Wilfred and I greatly enjoyed how it irritated Shane and Ernest. Manager's in the shed now, giving them a stern talking to about laughing at you. I don't think he'll be giving them the window seat again." As the two friends laughed, Eleanor felt more like her old self again. The power from the overhead wires made her engine hum happily, and the countryside seemed that much more vibrant. She was thankful for Edith's care and Caldy's comedy. She still hoots her horn near the mountain railway shed, just so everyone knows her January blues have gone.